Y'all, listen. Am I on? Yeah, I'm on. We just got some weird and wild news. Um, so I was scrolling Facebook because I'm 40 and I'm borderline boomer and I still use Facebook. Um, and this popped up on the Pokemon feed, right? On 8/21, we're getting a YouTube premiere at 6 a.m. PDT. Viewer discretion advised. I want you to look at that thumbnail, right? Um, let's see here. Worst ghost Pokédex entries. Let's do scariest, I think. That's best. I'm sure I'll find some good ones that way. Okay. So, the reason this is news, right? In the last decade, because we're at the 10-year anniversary for Five Nights at Freddy's, in the last decade, we've seen a huge surgence in horror games targeted towards young teens and kind of that middling, like 10 to 15-year-old age group. If you're new to the channel, you should know that I'm big into like the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff, Poppy's Playtime. I love those really dense lore, like fan-driven games. And I'm also a gigantic Pokemon fan. I've been playing Pokemon since Red and Blue came out back in the 90s. I used to play it with my friends in art class in high school. I play every game that comes out. It's just a part of my identity at this point. So, and there's other stuff too. Oh, we'll talk about that. That's a Gengar. That's Gengar goop. That's ectoplasm. But yeah, so the reason this is like super cool is because it's not outside of the. I mean, you can basically see it here. We are probably getting a horror Pokemon game. I don't know. I'm going to show some entries here, but there are actually some terrifying like ghost Pokemon. Like, I don't know if you've never really gone through the Pokedex and read the entries, you may just see, oh, these Pokemon are cute. Nah. Like Drifloon, for instance, is known, and Drifblim as well, I believe, is also known for kidnapping children. They just grab them up and carry them off into the night. You also have things like the Phantom, which is basically the soul of a child locked into a tree spirit. Like, it's let's see. Here we go. Top 10 creepiest ghost type Pokemon every trainer fears. Let's just go through this real quick. Let's just see what kind of stuff we could deal with, right? Gengar is one of the most classic of the ghost types, having been around since Pokemon began more than 20 years ago. What it's most spooky about it is that it likes to mimic people's shadows and drain heat from their bodies. Pokédex entries definitely offer a lot of scary information. For example, in Pokemon Stadium, Gengar's entry reads, appears to attack people who get lost in the mountains, said to be the culprit behind shadows that laugh in the moonlight. The reason I think that this is indicating Gengar is because of the coloration of the purple and how deep it is. And that's like generally like an ectoplasm type thing in these sort of games. Then we have where'd my tab go? Hang on, sorry. Where'd my tab go? Okay. Giratina, it's a legendary. Not just glowing red eyes and backlight. According to its Pokedex entries, it was banished to the distortion world for being too violent. That is a big deal in the world of Pokemon, since a lot of life seems to be centered around battles. Apparently, Giratina took it too far, so he's really violent. Mimikyu is another really good one. Introduced in the recent Sun and Moon games, no one knows what it looks like under its Pikachu disguise. Would it not be badass if we actually got to see what a Mimikyu looks like under its Pikachu disguise? Oh. Only that it looks will make you sick or die of shock. The Ultra Moon Pokedex says, a gust of wind revealed what hides under this Pokemon's rag to a passing trainer who went home and died painfully that night. Yamask. The creepiest part of Yamask is that various Pokedex entries claim that it was once human. Apparently, the mask they carry is the face they had when they were people. It does beg the question as to how humans become Yamask. Is it that their spirit cannot pass on for some reason? Whatever the case, the Yamask always looks sad and like they are not having a very good time. Trevenant, this is what I was talking about. This ghost and grass type Pokemon is basically a sentient tree. According to various Pokedex entries, they can control trees and trap people in the forest. It also has a revengeful side, as it will particularly go after those who harm the forest. They do not only trap people, but also devour them, according to the information about them in Pokemon Sun. At least Ultra Sun's entry gives you a method to avoid being devoured or trapped. Just bring a Fire-type Pokemon with you. It is what the Lumberjacks do. Banette, and this is Mega Banette here on the screen, but evolving from Shuppet, Banette is apparently a cursed doll that is looking to curse those who threw it away. Apparently, a lot of kids throw away their dolls in the Pokemon world, and a lot of the dolls do not like it. The reason its mouth is zipped shut is so that its cursed energy will not escape. As to what it really means, the Pokedex is not so enlightening. Maybe if you unzip the mouth, then the ghost will leave the doll. In any case, you don't want to be that child of this Pokemon is hunting. No one wants to know what happens to that kid if the Banette finds them. Palo-san, I didn't even know this one was scary. What may appear at first a cute Sandcastle is actually a ghost-type Pokemon that eats other Pokemon. According to its entry in Pokemon Moon, you can even find dried-up bones under its body. In Sun, you can learn that it actually possesses people in order to make it larger and more castle-like. So if you're ever walking the beaches of Alola, we don't have to worry about this one. No Palo-san. No Palo-san attacking you. Man, this looks more industrial or city. It doesn't look like it's anywhere near a ocean or beach. Whew. Okay. And then we have Drifloon. I told you about this one already. Arguably the cutest ghost type Pokemon out there. However, do not let those beady little eyes fool you into thinking that they are innocent. These Pokemon kidnap children and take them to the afterlife. The afterlife. That means dead. They murder children. Like Palo-san, they are an innocent form in order to trap unknowing victims. According to Ultra Sun, the more people it kidnaps, the bigger its balloon body gets. Some entries, so if you're a fat kid, you're fine. That's why I'm still here, obviously, because I would have absolutely been kidnapped by this Pokemon as a child. Luckily, I was a fat kid, so I'm good. Cofagirus, which is the evolved form of Yamask. Cofagirus, Cofragigus. I never was it. I always said Cofragiris, but that's not right. It's Cofragigus. All right. Is one of the ghost types with the most frightening appearance. The red eyes and creepy smile just instill fear. Their Pokedex entry only makes them worse. They are known to trap people inside them and turn them into mummies. On the positive end, it seems to prefer just eating grave robbers rather than innocent people. They are known to trap people inside them and turn them into mummies. They just kill them, yeah. This Pokemon is obviously based on the sarcophagus. Yeah, Egyptian, blah, blah, blah. And then lastly, there's the Gourgeist. Sorry, guys, we know it's cute, but it can also... This is actually one of my favorite Pokemon. I tried so hard to make it use in competitive, but I just couldn't do it. I can't make a lot work in competitive because I'm terrible at Pokemon. You'd think I wouldn't be with me having played it my entire life being a 41-year-old man, but no, I am terrible at Pokemon. According to its Pokedex entries, Y and Alpha Sapphire, this Pokemon will wrap its arms around you and sing as it watches you suffer. The entries do not say why you are suffering, which only makes it more scary. We cannot blame the love this Pokemon gets, though. The most fun aspect of training one is that they come in different sizes. Maybe make sure to get a small one so it will have more difficulty trying to kill you. So, yeah. While I don't expect this to be the scariest game ever made, it will definitely be targeted towards the teenage, young adult audience, and also me. I will play the shit out, the shit out of this. I can say that. It's my channel, whatever. I'm so hyped for this. 8/21, 2 days, and we get to see, and it looks like, just based on kind of what we're looking at here, and like meta knowing what Pokemon's going for, they're trying to get a piece of this horror game pie that's going around the last few years. I imagine we'll be exploring. It looks like it could be a school, but it also could be a warehouse. The way the windows are lined, though, I would absolutely expect it to be a school. So we're probably going to be a kid going into a school or sneaking into a school or being trapped in a school by, at bare minimum, a Gengar. But I would fully expect there to be a lot of different ghost types running around. We'll probably see Gengars, Haunters. I would not be surprised to see some Driflooms, Phantoms. Now, as far as the kind of game it'll be, is it going to be like an actual like survival puzzle solving game, or could it just be a really scary Pokemon Snap game? Well, since we can see the hand, I doubt that. Plus, Pokemon Snap would probably pull in a younger audience than they are looking for. But yeah, this is exciting because this means that Pokemon is branching out into other genres. And there's no telling what we could see next, right? Like there was a back when Final Fantasy Tactics Advance was really big. They released it's called Pokemon. What was it? Pokemon, not Showdown. What was the Pokemon Tactics game called? Pokemon Tactics game. What was that? Conquest. It was Pokemon Conquest. So there was a Pokemon game called Pokemon Conquest back on the Game Boy Advance. It was on the DS. Wow, it was way newer than I thought it was. But it was like a collaboration with the Musuo, whatever the Samurai Warriors, Dynasty Warriors. God, my brain's not working. It was like a combination of Pokemon and Dynasty Warriors, and it was really fun. It was a tactics game. But that's really the last time Pokemon's branched out into other genres. And we already see Pokemon ZA being kind of like a reactionary auto battler type game. Pokemon's moving their competitive format to the Pokemon Champions application, which will be both mobile and the DS. So I think with this coming out and with Pokemon ZA coming out and being what it is, I think they may start branching Pokemon out into other genres, always keeping in that teenage age range. But we could see some really cool stuff here in the next few years, especially with the Switch 2 having a lot more power. I mean, it's no PS5, but let's be real. Like, the Switch 2 is substantially more powerful than the original Switch, and they can do some killer stuff with it. In fact, it just now occurred to me that I was looking at a Switch 2 game because I play all my horror games on PC. So I'm looking at this like, boy, I can't wait to download this on Steam. That's not a thing. But yeah, no, this is gigantic, and I am hype as hell, and I will either record a reaction video on the 21st to this, or I will stream it. 6 a.m. PDT is 9 a.m. I think for me, so it's going to be kind of hard for me to get my brain awake at that point. But yeah, anyways, subscribe for that, and likes, comments, subscriptions, all the good stuff help out a bunch, and I will see you in the next one. Deuces, dummies.